Guys, I'm so excited to talk to you today about this fragrance. And this will be about as close as I ever get to hyping up a fragrance. And really, this isn't even hype. This is just me being excited because I got to experience this fragrance from almost conception to its release at ScentXplore. The fragrance that we're talking about today is the newest release from the House of Gentleman's Nod. And in my opinion, it is the biggest step forward they've ever done in terms of quality and just upping the game. Today, we are talking about Toro Bravo. And yes, this is a brand new bottle style in 100 milliliters. Absolutely stunning. This is real leather right here. This is a special fragrance, guys. So stick around. I'm going to unpack it for you and tell you why this is a huge moment for Gentleman's Nod. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, also known as Scent Nick. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. If you're new here, I create fragrance content mainly in the form of detailed reviews with the occasional list. If that is something that interests you, please consider hitting that like button. Drop a comment below of a fragrance you'd like me to cover and join our community by hitting that red subscribe button. And now let's get back to that review. Okay, so real quick thing, Toro Bravo is a fragrance that was done in collaboration with Max Forti and ScentXplore. And like I said, this thing is just huge. There's a new bottle, but there's also new presentation. So you're gonna get a quick look at that. And it's that typical clasp design where it's just embedded in here. And you can see information right there with the ScentXplore logo and everything in there. Now, this fragrance took the better part of a year from the moment that I got to start experiencing it. And I even remember the initial calls of Chris calling me and just talking to me about the concept and his ideas for this new fragrance that just ups the game. And I got to experience the early runs of it months and months ago. And then to finally see this thing brought out and released and just experience the final product is something truly special. Well, no, I didn't creative direct any of this. I was just a supportive force behind him and encouraging him and giving him a note here or there. It's still special, but truly Chris and Max did an excellent job with this fragrance. So let's get into it. A 100 milliliter bottle. Now this is a parfum extrait. It is concentrated at 30%, so it's a pretty strong fragrance. Right now, at the time of filming this, it's $159, which blows my mind because it is worth way more than that. It was supposed to go up in price after the show, so it may be going up very soon to $179, which is still a steal. And if you're in any way interested in picking up this fragrance, use code ScentNick10. I've talked about it before. That'll get you 10% off, and it gives me a small kickback, which I greatly appreciate. And in full transparency, this bottle was sent to me for free. Now, the perfumers for this were the wonderful, the master Claude Deer and Ralph Schweiger. The fact that Claude worked on this is a testament to how good this is. The scent profile for this is interesting. This essentially is a leather, woody, spicy fragrance. So let's dive into it. Top notes for this are going to include saffron, incense swirls, cognac, cardamom, and rum. Woo, man, we are off to a fiery start here. So saffron is intense and leathery, sharp and spicy and perfectly Spanish, which is exactly what this fragrance is. I didn't really talk about that, but we'll get back to that at some point. The incense swirls, my gosh, that is probably one of my favorite notes in this. You get literally the wisps of incense and it's gorgeous. It lasts a really long time. The cognac is dry, spicy, boozy, paired with that rum, that sweetness from the rum. And it's a very photorealistic rum because it's using jungle essence, which that extraction technique is incredible. Basically, if you ever see pure jungle essence on one of their notes, that means it smells like the real deal. And then finally the cardamom, that warm and spicy and sexy, just beautiful note. The culmination of all of this is just intense, it's passionate, it's invigorating, and it is spicy. Now for the heart, you're gonna get a Madeira wine accord, which is quite a nice touch. You're gonna get hay, sage, dried fruits, tonka bean, and rose. Man, this mid is just something else. That Madeira wine accord is so cool, and it borderlines into chocolate. It's sweet and red, very grape-like, and smooth. It's kind of sweet. It's not overly forward. It kind of is right behind all the spice. The hay is a brilliant note in this because it dries the fragrance out and gives a texture of earth. The rose is incredibly subtle, just giving a nice, rich rose absolute touch. The tonka sweetens it up with adding a bit of a spicier, drier vanilla. The dried fruits, I think, really just pair well with that Madeira wine accord, sweetening it all up, adding to the lusciousness of the fragrance while not taking too much of a forefront, really sitting in the back and supporting. The blend is continuing that stage of being in Spain during the running of the bull. And moving to the base, you're going to get amberwoods, cedar, sandalwood, labdanum, leather, styrax, vetiver, and musk. And this really finishes out the composition. The leather is a very prominent note. You get it in the base and you get the leathery saffron in the top, and really you get the full spectrum across the entire wearing. You get the cedarwood, which continues to dry out the fragrance a little bit. You get the sandalwood, which adds spice and smooth, like a diffusive touch to it. The labdanum really warms it up, giving it a balsamic edge, along with the styrax, which is another vanillic, balsamic, kind of caramelly and floral spicy resin. Those two add richness. The amberwoods add a nice kind of oriental wood to the mix. The vetiver giving a bit more green wood with a little bit of an earthiness, and then the musk doing, honestly, what it's doing is adding an animalic touch to it, because this overall does have an animalic edge. Now, the whole composition is absolutely brilliant. The entire story behind Toro Bravo is being in San Fermín at the running of the bull. It's supposed to be dry, there's heat, there's the smell of the animal, there's the leather, people are drinking wine, there's booze, there's all kinds of things. It's absolutely brilliant. You get the dust in the air. This thing is immaculate. I'm so impressed. It's spicy, it's dry, it's playful, it's mature, masculine, while also being surprisingly unisex. I'm truly blown away, and the performance is absolutely phenomenal. So with all that said, let's get into the questions. Is this original? Yes. As with every single Gentleman's Nod release that there ever is, except for when they're in the same line, like their flankers, they're always original. Nothing out on the market ever smells like these, because Chris is a creative genius. And I say that because he's my friend, but I'm also just like, who thinks of these concepts and who gets them into a bottle? Original, yes. In terms of the audience, this is a unisex, leaning masculine fragrance, and it is mature. Being a leather fragrance that is dry, it does lean itself being towards someone being potentially a 30s and up, and it's phenomenal. As far as seasons, this is perfectly suited for fall and winter. It is a bit heavy, it's really spicy, it's powerful. This would be way too strong for spring and summer, in my opinion. The occasions, this could be a signature scent, but it is quite strong. I would say this is leisure, this is night out, this is make a statement, this is elegant, honestly. Really, wear this when you want to impress someone, because it will stick out. Now, performance, like I said, is incredible. This thing will stick on you for forever. Now, for my skin, it's not as potent as some of the people's that I've heard. I heard some people getting 24 to 48 hours longevity. I'm just like, how the heck are you getting that kind of longevity? For me, it's not like that. It's like probably 14 to 16 hours. And even then it probably goes past that. I'm just losing it, like going a little nose blind, but it sticks around, guys. And the projection is quite strong to start off with. It projects for a while, and that scent trail dials back after a few hours, and you're left with a beautiful aura right around you, and it takes quite a while for it to go back to a skin scent. I'm always impressed by how his stuff performs, although I go nose blind very quick to it. And now getting onto that review, I have never given a gentleman's nod this high. I love the line, but a lot of the fragrances always leave just something really small to be desired. This one, I couldn't ask for anything else. This gets an 8.8. It is exceptional, bordering into masterpiece. Like, it's truly phenomenal, and I cannot highly recommend enough, especially with the price that you get your nose on this. I would gladly pay at least $300 for this fragrance. That is the quality we're talking. The fact that this is $179 blows my freaking mind. And the fact that you can use code ScentNick10 to get 10% off that and pay like $150 is just wild for a fragrance of this magnitude. This is setting the tone for the future of Gentleman's Nod and Chris's future projects. I am so stoked for it. Please do yourselves a favor. Go smell this, sample it first. It's not a safe blind buy, but at the price, surprisingly, it's kind of safe to blind buy. This is limited. There are only 500 bottles being released. So if you want to hop on that, you gotta hop on it because they are going and they are going fast. All that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed that review. Please consider hitting that like button, drop a comment below, and join our community by hitting the red subscribe button. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.